Hey guys, Darren here from Carl's Speed Shop again. I just thought while we were doing some filming around the workshop we might show you this one. It's back just for a little bit of some maintenance items that the customer wanted us to look at. We actually did a full build on this car and delivered it to the customer about 12 months ago. Unfortunately he hasn't put many miles on it. We put more miles on it than him, but wow, what a great little truck. It was certainly a truck that we all enjoyed building. And like a lot of our builds and what we've talked about so far, you know, pretty much everything you see on the truck, it was done in-house here, other than the final paint. So yeah, we're pretty proud of it. This was one of Deb's earlier full-time upholsterer jobs. So once she'd started at the shop here full-time, and as you'll see from the videos that'll roll through, you know, it's all done in a distressed leather. So yeah, very proud of that job too, and the German square weave carpet, which is a bit of a sort of a standard fare for a lot of the builds at the moment, which is pretty cool. So you know, sort of high-end finishes. But yeah, the car came to us as it was a pretty solid original truck that the customer had bought off someone in Newcastle who brought it in from the States. It had all stock running gear in it, still had the flathead in it and everything when it arrived to us. Obviously that came out, I think that ended up, one of the staff bought that off the customer. And then yeah, work started from there. So it's got a fully boxed chassis, original rails, big centre K-frame and everything that we did in-house, jag front end, and a 9-inch on 4-link and coilovers. It sits nice and low, but it's actually not on airbags. That is its ride height. Customer didn't really want that, you know. Airbags can be somewhat spongy, so he didn't want that in it. I can attest to the fact that this thing handles like it's on rails. You know, in some of the test driving that we've been doing in it, it handles beautifully. So yeah, drivetrain in it. I'll just show you in the engine bay here quickly. This was all done in-house as well. Mason built the engine. Started life as a 302 Windsor. It's now a 347 stroker with all scat internals, Wiseco pistons, set of Aeroflo aluminium heads on it, Edelbrock manifold, and then the Holley sniper to top things off there. So serpentine kit at the front, all keeps everything in check, including the aircon and alternator, power steering, and yeah, so it's sort of a great little package. As you can hear from the exhaust in some of the videos, it's a pretty cranky little engine. And at least now that we're putting a few miles on it, the Holley sniper is able to learn a bit more about the engine and what's going on internally. So it's running a lot nicer now that we've put a few miles on it. So all the custom touches in the engine bay here, for those who know these trucks, the internal fender panels and the firewall, and even this front panel here, that's all hand fabricated by us in-house. Just they're quite an ugly engine bay and firewall from factory, but they were a commercial vehicle, so you expect that. And we just wanted to sort of beautify this one a little bit, make it all symmetrical, and give it a bit of style to bring it up to speed. So yeah, pretty proud of that. The motor's actually mated to a Turbo 700 Chevy gearbox of all things, so through an adapter plate, but that gave us a reliable source of a 4-speed transmission, because the customer definitely wanted an overdrive for the highway driving. And same again, you know, that was built by our guys that we use all the time down at Russell's Automatics. Yeah, they did a fantastic job on that, and a bit of a stall converter in it. I think it's around about a 3000 stall converter. Certainly gets a hopping. Yeah, so wheels and tyres, they're just an 18-inch smoothie that we sourced in Australia with hubcaps, and you know, a fairly low profile tyre on them, but we didn't want to go overboard with little rubber bands on it, so they seem to be a nice sort of middle of the road type tyre. If we turn our attention into the back of the tray here, This is something we're also pretty proud of. You know, we've raised the tray height to clear the chassis notch and everything so that we could get the ride height where we wanted it. The timber is all American oak that was sourced through a shop fitting customer of ours, and all cut down to size, and then the stainless strips all put through it, as you can see there. But yeah, and fuel filler in the back there, which is just a little turn and push and then unscrew the fuel filter. So it's something off of like choppers we get out of the States. They put them on a lot of the chopper builds and that over there. So there is a spare wheel to go in there and a spare wheel cover. We're just sort of finishing off the fabrication on that spare wheel cover at the moment, and then we'll get it painted to match the truck. So yeah, really nice inside here. We're going to give it another coat of some 2-pack wallets here as well, just now that the thing's weathered a little bit. Inside the truck, certainly some nice stuff going on in there. The customer sourced their own steering wheel from the US. I can't remember the name of the company that's from, but and then of course a low car shifter, everyone will be familiar with those. The gauges was something that they're from Classic Instruments. They're autocross style. The customer's brief on them basically was that he needed to be able to see all the numbers and the letters on it, so we had to get something that was quite stark. Underneath the seats here, we got some little drawers hidden away there that all you know, just got cupboard runners and all that sort of stuff on it, so storage for the client. There's a stereo in the front there, speakers coming out the back, bit hard to see there. And yeah, this panel here was all fabricated in-house. There was nowhere really to put his aircon vents and everything through, so coming up with that panel that goes right across the bottom allowed us to house the switches and the vents and stuff like that. So practicality, but also lengthens the dash a bit to cover a bit of all the, you know, the header unit and everything of the aircon that has to sit under there. So yeah, quite you know, just nice and tidy and serviceable, but yeah, beautiful, you know, for cruising along on those highway miles. And all the little eyelets, I suppose we'd call them, in the upholstery there, just to add a bit of pizzazz to the upholstery, you know, a bit of interest other than just stitching and tuck and roll pleats. So yeah, pretty cool interior, but certainly all round the truck is definitely one that I would be more than happy to have in my garage. Yeah, I suppose, you know, just in finishing off, I mean, Mark and Leslie, our customers, they were great to work with, and certainly appreciate their business. Yeah, and looking forward to seeing them to putting, you know, as many miles as we have on it, but many of their own miles and memories in it. So yeah, and following on from here, have a look at some of the videos that we've got around the car park, etc.